Hi guys, if you found this video, we are discussing all the books that I read in February, and if you want to know what are my short reviews on them, you can keep on watching. First and foremost, before I discuss any of my book, let me tell you that if I feel a little annoyed and tired, it's because I'm recording this video for the second time, because the first video that I did, which I thought turned out really well, had no audio in it. So yeah, just bear with me. I will try to recollect all the points that I made in my video which didn't have any audio, and now put it here. Let's see how that turns out. I hope this one is working properly. I mean, mic is working, and yeah, the video is getting recorded, so I finger crossed, let's hope. First and foremost, this month I read 5 books. I think across genres I tried to read different sort of book because I'm yet finding what are the genres I like the most. So the first book that I read was a thriller, which is Alice Feeney's new release, none other than Beautiful Ugly. I read it on my iPad, and let me tell you that I still don't know if I like thrillers a lot. Like, I've read Housemaid, and then I read this Alice Feeney's Beautiful Ugly. Maybe I'm picking the wrong books, might be. But I feel like there's nothing that keeps me at the edge of the seat. Like with Housemaid, I already guessed whatever the book had to offer. With this, I won't say that I was definite, but I somehow had that intuition. And by the end, when I finished the book, I was not at the edge of the seat what I felt that the book was supposed to give me. I'll give you a short brief in case you want to go ahead and read this book. So there's this author Grady who's waiting for a call from his publisher who will tell him whether the book that he has released is uh, titled or is called as the New York bestseller or not. And he really loves writing, and his like world revolves around writing. Now while he's waiting for this call, he's also on a call with his wife Abby, who is driving home, and he tells her that, you know, that I want you by my side when I hear this news, whatever the news is, and I love you so much, and all that romantic thing. And she's saying that I'm just around the corner, I'm just taking a turn, I'm coming. And she is a crime journalist or some sort of that, and then she just vanishes. Like, she's on the call, and then there is brake screeching sound, and then she vanishes without a trace. Now 1 year passes to this incident, and Grady is in so much shock, pain, and he has still not accepted the fact that what has happened with his wife, because he doesn't know what has happened to his wife. He is not able to write. Now for this next year, he was supposed to release one more book, but now because of so much trauma and pain, he can't write his next book. So his publisher sends him on a Scottish island which is secluded, and says that you go and write in solace, you sit and you draw inspiration and whatever, and you can write on this island. In this publisher sends him on this island. Now when he goes in this island, he finds things which are weird, and he just feels the energy overall is weird, and people on the island is weird. And then he sees a woman whom he feel looks like his wife, but then he's also not sure what he's looking is real or not. So there's a lot of unraveling around this, and a lot of thriller that happens. And trust me, when I've told you so much, I've still not given you the spoiler, so you can go ahead and read it. The things that I've told you happen initially in the book. If this grabs your interest, you can go ahead and read this thriller. Then I read a fantasy book. I'll just tell you which book it is. I think a lot of people know already about this book. I think this was one of the most anticipated releases for 2025. Let me get it for you. Okay, the book is none other than Rebecca Yarros' Onyx Storm. Now I got this book and I finished reading it in Feb. The book released in January. This is the third book in the Empyrean series. Okay, the first is Fourth Wing, second is Iron Flame, the third is Onyx Storm. Currently, this is the third book. There will be, I think, 2 more books in the series which will release, like as in when it releases, like in the next, I think after 2 years, the fourth book will come, from what people are saying. But you know how the book and inspiration works. But anyways, I'll tell you, with this book, I have already made a detailed video wherein I have vlogged and recorded my reactions to the book, as in when I read a good chunk of the books, but part in the book. But I'll tell you overall what I feel. The book is confusing. It is not that easy of a read. I also saw a video wherein somebody said that this book feels as an extended cut of Iron Flame, which is true. I mean, Iron Flame was 750 pages, Onyx Storm is 500, and still I don't feel like there was a lot of meaty and juicy part. I feel like there were a lot of question marks left, and I think Rebecca will cover those dots in the upcoming book, and it will shock you to the core in the next books. But right now, did I cry in the end of the book? Yes. Was I confused in the book? Yes. uh, why was I confused? Lot of politics, lot of names to remember, lot of like dots to join. And I always say that Iron Flame was something I read recently, yet was equally confused. So I think overall, what I understood, like a lot of people were confused with this book, because of course fantasy works like that. The world building is a lot, so it can confuse you at times. By the end, also I had to go and read on Reddit, Fable, Goodreads, and join these book clubs and groups and understand what conversation and what other people are understanding, and whatever I am understanding is right or not. So yeah, this is Onyx Storm. In case you have read the first two, go ahead, read the third one. In case you have not read the Empyrean series, pick up Fourth Wing, try for yourself. If you are in fantasy, you might like it, you might love it. I'm still in the discovering phase, so I don't know. But yeah, this was Onyx Storm. Okay guys, so after this I knew that this year I had to read something from Fredrik Backman. I have already read his work last year, and I think in 2024 the best book that I read was his work and his book, which was Anxious People, and I love it so much. So this year I knew I had to pick his work again, some of his writing, and then I decided to pick Bear Town by Fredrik Backman. Now, Bear Town is a 3-book series. So this is Bear Town. The second is called Us Against You, and third is called The Winners. Now, this book is around hockey. So in case you are interested in, no, this book is around ice hockey to be specific. And if you are interested in ice hockey and everything around it, you would love it. I recently made a mini book haul wherein I opened this book, and when I read the blurb of the book, or just the back of the book, and I thought that this book was a feel good cozy sort of book. And I also compared it saying that, oh, I like any book which is around, like which is in a town, which give Gilmore Girl vibe and all. There's no Gilmore Girl vibes. Let's just say the town is cozy, small, like people know each other, everybody knows who they are. That is there, but Gilmore Girls was not a good comparison to draw. So yeah, this was Bear Town, lovely book. I cannot emphasize on like two people that please read his work. Like I just love this author, and for me to convince you and to tell you what is beautiful about him is the way he writes the multiple POVs. This guy will write one chapter and give you perspective about 8 different people at the same point in time, what they are thinking, what they are doing. Something is happening on the floor and there's one person in the audience seeing it, and what his mind is at that point. Like everything comes in that narration and with so much detail, that I think that is the beauty of Fredrik Backman. Now the second thing that I love about him is even giving that so many people's POV, there is still deeper layers to each character, and the way he characterizes them and doesn't make them really ambiguous and just half-heartedly. It's beautiful. He writes about every character with utmost depth, utmost sense of characterization in them, and that is the beauty. And that beauty you'll see in Bear Town, as well as that beauty you will see in his Anxious People as well. Now, when I say about Anxious People and Bear Town, both are not similar. I think these both are very different. These both are very different writing of Fredrik Backman. This is more. This is literary. Both are literary fiction, but this is like a. I don't know how to define it, but the blurb is that there is robbery in a building, and then 8 people are held hostage in a vacant apartment, and then there is again multiple POVs of these 8 people, and the storyline of the robber as well, and then of the policeman as well. And there's so many storyline and interconnections between the story that it's beautifully written. Like they will tell you an incident of this one person, and then it will also tell you what was exactly happening on this day with the other person, and how this event that happened with this person also affected this other person. So I think that is the beauty of Fredrik Backman. And I mean, if you want to experience multiple POVs in one chapter, one book, and multiple layers to people, I think you can go ahead and read his work. It's beautifully written. Apart from Frederick Backman's Bear Town, I also read his short story, which is The Answer Is No. It's a 60 to 65 pages short book. Additionally, I would like to tell you that it is available on Kindle Unlimited in case you have an e-reader and you're interested to read it. You can find this short story on Kindle Unlimited as well. Now, this is really short story, but I feel like in 63 pages also Frederick has beautifully done the characterization. There's humor in the 60 pages, and the story is very funny. And I like, in 60 pages I don't want to give you a lot of lot of sense, because then you would know a lot part of it. So I just want to tell you it's humorous, characterization is there, not exactly multiple POV, but the humor is nice. If you want to have a little giggle and laugh and a feel good moment, you can go ahead and read this. And if you want to understand Frederick's observations about mundane life and the mundanity of every day, you can go ahead and read this. It is lovely and beautiful. Next, I read a romance book for this month. Now, last year I read Happy Place as for a romance book, and I just felt like romance was not a genre for me. But then I picked a book of by Lynn Painter, which is better than the movies last year. And then I felt like maybe the genre is for me. And by the way, it's wrong for me to just read one book and decide a genre is not for me. But by this book, I loved it. It was so bingeable, so readable, beautiful high school romance. Felt like To All the Boys I've Loved Before, but different characters, different storyline, and like it is, you would eat this book up. It was so good. So this year I thought I should read the sequel to the book, which is nothing like the movies. Now, when I'm telling you about this, I need to also bring to your notice this book. Now, this book is a high school romance between Wes and Liz. The plot is enemies to lovers. Now, enemies to lovers goes to college. In college, they have now broken up. Was a breakup necessary for Lynn to write about? I don't think so. Now, because they are in a breakup, the storyline of both the parties is running individually. Of course, this book has dual POV of Wes and Liz as well, while Better Than the Movies was only Liz's POV. In this book, Lynn has given us dual POV. Was this book necessary? I already told you, not necessary. Romance in this book was literally less. The most part was Wes's character development and Liz's character development. What they did in their individual life in their college was all you got in this. So, in case you're interested in their college life and their individual personalities growing, you might like it. But this book was, I don't think, absolutely necessary, and I gave it somewhere near 3 stars for the book. But if you want to read any of Lynn Painter's writing, please go ahead and read this. You can skip the second book, and yeah, that's it. I mean, lovely. So this month I read a romance, a fantasy, a thriller, literary fiction, and a short story. Thanks for watching. Bye.